So hi everybody and welcome back to the Unreal Engine 5 tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 77 and this video we continue not with inventory system because it is too complex. Complex means here it is not too difficult. It has many components which is needed to create a inventory system, and that means first we have to talk about this different kind of components which we don't know. For example, we have not talked about data tables. We have not talked about saving, for example, a game to a instance, or saving general a game and then calling this game again to use it. And this kind of stuff we need later in an inventory system, so we can use them later again. Or for example, the inventory system should equip the items with our character, and the inventory system should show all these items in a graphical view, and many things is to be set up to represent our inventory system. And I think it's too complex, not difficult, but much work to do to make a good inventory system. And instead of using an inventory system, we are going to create a trailer in this video. A trailer is very useful, so you can represent your game online in many different places. And also you don't have to do this, but this is very good. Or you can just make a trailer, a start trailer of your game when the game starts, that you have a trailer, an intro. It's also very nice. And here one more note: if you want put your trailer on social medias, careful, there is an easier way to make, for example, gameplay. So gameplay and trailers are not the same. Trailer means most time you are creating something cinematics, like a film, like an animations, which is then automated, and yeah, it is more like a film. But gameplay, it's more just like you play the game and you just record it, which means you use a recording system. For example, I use here to record what I show you here, OBS. It's a free recording system. You can play the game, you can show what you are doing, something like that. So this keep this in mind. And now we go to create a cinematics. So, and here in cinematics, let me set up this one. In cinematics there are two documentations actually. The one normal documentation is Unreal Engine 5, and you can go there, and then in Unreal Engine 5 you will find cinematics and sequencer, and you see cinematics and sequencer is big. Much to talk because they are showing you how to create really movies, trailers, and many options what this has. So there's much to read, but we make a very simple start. And one more on the bottom, you see they have also this cinematic sample project. The sample projects you can find in the marketplace anywhere, in the samples folder, and you can download them and watch them as well. So in our case, in my case, what I do right now, I want to do a quick start. You know, I told you about a quick start. When you find in the documentation at quick start, it's one of the best things you can do at start, because they show you, they explain not all in detail, but they show you very fast and easy, like it said, a quick start. But the problem is I found it not in the Unreal Engine 5 documentation, so they still don't have this one converted. It's relative new while I'm making this video. So we switch to Unreal Engine 4. You have here options to select. You can switch here to 4.67 and 4.626, and I switched to 4.72, and there is this quick start sequencer quick start. It is a little bit different, not too much. The optic is a little bit different and some settings, because Unreal Engine 5 has new features, and perhaps you should later check out what these new features are. But in general, for us as a beginner, it's absolutely okay that we use this quick start, because we make very basic things. And let's get started with this quick start. One more note: this link I will put in the description, so you can just go to the site and follow this quick start yourself and read it through. It's not too difficult, and I will not read all things. I will just show the main steps, and not all steps. We'll stop here and perhaps I make the second video for the other ones. So that's it, and we are starting. First of all, they describe here some goals. Perfect. I say finish. That's okay. They describe here some objectives, what we will learn in this quick start. Perfect. We have done this one. You read this one. It will be okay. And here it starts real. So requirement setup. So let's set up some little bit things. First of all, they start here with this symbol here on top. This symbol is, you see, it is a symbol which is used many times in films. We click on it and we have here two options: add level sequence, add master sequence. The master sequence is similar to level sequence, only it has more options. For example, you can create your other master sequence, and a master sequence is something like grouping. I don't know it too so much. You should read the documentation, but what we do is we click this level sequence, and then you see my level sequence. You can create this level sequence, but what you have to do is you go to your game folder. In my case, it is this game folder, I know. All the other things are just resources. And then here you create a new folder. I created it already. I call it cinematics. Cinematics means trailers, all time of movies, what you want, and so on. And all assets you put there. So I select this one and I call this level sequencer an L for level, SEQ for sequence underscore, and let's call it master, like this documentation. Okay, master, and we save it. And now you see it pops up this sequencer window here on the bottom. It's very easy. The only thing which we are interested is later this one, but right now all the other things will be showed in this quick start, so that's why I skip here going through. We continue. So we have created this level sequencer, and you can see it also on your content row, of course, here, and we go on. So we have made the cinematics, we created our level sequencer, and they want now that we duplicate the sequencer, which means let's do it. We go to the content row, we select our cinematics, we select our created sequencer and right click and duplicate it. And we call this one shot one, like they did, because they will save here the first trailer. All right, let's go on. We have this one, we continue, and they show here an alternative way how you can find this one, because these are not the two only ways. You can just go to add, and if you want, go here to animations, and here you find again level sequence. This is a manual way to add here this level sequence. All right, we continue. Now we set up a proper way to work with level sequence, which means how to work a little bit better. Edit this window so it looks a little bit better. So what we do first is on the left side here on top, here we click, before we click here, let's edit here this one, this outworld liner. We don't need it really right now, so I dock it to sidebar. I hide it here. The same, the world settings, I don't need it at all. I click it away. And the details panel, I dock it also on the sidebar, because the details panel will be needed probably, and this one probably, that's why I make it selectable. So here we have now a better view, but let's make it better. Here on the left side, this symbol are some more settings for this viewport. And what I go there, I click it, and we are interested in layouts. And you see there are different kind of layouts. We select this layout here, and now we have two screens, and we have to set up the screens. Probably yours is not looking like this, no worry. We start then. We select this left screen. We select by left clicking. So when I click here, then I'm here. When I left click here, then I'm here. So left click here and then go to perspective and set here default viewport. Default viewport means this is our normal game viewport, which we know. So when I start here, it's normal. Here, I want not this default viewport. You go here to perspective and go to cinematic viewport. And when you click this one, you will have something like that. So now we have here options to play. This is just normal play cinematic and go to end and top. And so that's not very wild. Let's continue. So they set up the viewport. They set up the left right here like we did in like I showed, and now they show you also here some shortcuts. For example, we go to the right side, we left click it, and now this one is selected. Now if you press G, you can see all these gizmos, these ones here, are disappearing. So if I press G again, they are appearing. If I press G, they are disappearing. Here is one problem, and first of all, why we are doing this. We want not have this perhaps in our cinematics, this one, because this camera will record all that what it can see later. But here is a problem, right? Why is this not disappearing? This one will be recorded. And the problem was with this one, I set up this thing here not hidden in game. So that was during development. So what you have to do definitely is, for example, switch here in this one, select your object here, go to for example your outliner, and because this is a blueprint, I have to go here, edit it. So I open this one up, and then I have set this hidden in game. That was only just during development. I actor hidden in game, I reselect this one. This one should again be, why is this not by default? A little bit strange. I'm right here. Yes. Anyway, I think this, I hope this one is that. And now you see the actor is gone. That's perfect. And if you have problems like that, because you activated hidden in game, then just deactivate it, because this will be recorded later. So with that said, we have eliminated one problem and we continue. So this one is all fine. And now we have here one more option. It says Ctrl+Shift+T, which means we can get rid of on top. We select this one again, and you see we have now the options for snapping tools and so on. If I press now Ctrl+Shift+T, you see, oops, Ctrl+Shift+T. I see, actually not. Yeah, there is. Anyway, they say you are toggling something on and off with this one. At least I see I toggle here something off. Anyway, that's not very important. We continue. You toggle some options on and off. Important is this G more. You have G here, this one, and then you can toggle off other options. Let's continue. And we are finished with this for step 1. Let's go to the step 2. We make our first shot. So how we do first shot? Left click the cinematic view, and then we are here. Then we go to the shot, and we are adding, let's cancel this one here. Oh, save this one here. And we are selecting this one. So first of all, we go, let's see, where was we go here. We press, what was that? We press our camera view, which is this one here. This create a new camera. We create a new camera. This camera here is the cinematic camera, which is for recording. Let's create it. When I click on it, you see it creates something. Here's some pre-options. This is all for this new created camera. And when I watch it, where is my camera here actually? Anyhow, I don't see anything here. And I think the problem here is I'm now here in pilot form, but this one is the new camera. And if you click here, yeah, let's continue. We created now this camera. And then what we have to do is, let's see, cinematic viewport. We are here, camera cut tracks. Okay, camera cut tracks. All right, let's see. And then in the right viewport, so in our cinematic viewport, we can use this keys here to set the position of the camera. And important is here this pilot form. What is this pilot form? In our normal game view in a default screen, when you right click on it, and we have here this pilot form here, pilot landscape, for example, and oh, that's not good. Don't make this one, sorry. Control Z. Never make pilot landscape. I messed this up. Why is not going? Let's get rid of this pilot landscape. Now what I did with pilot landscape is I deformed my landscape. You can see it. Pilot landscape means you take the object which you selected, and now you can move with the object while you are watching where you go. Don't make this one with landscape. That's why I make here Control C. We are back to normal, but we will use this with our newly created camera later. So for example, here I want to use it. So let's select this screen and now press, what was the press here? Here, there is another shortcut for piloting. For example, instead pressing right click and go for pilot. And the problem is here, they say here pilot wrong things. You want to pilot this newly created camera normally, and you can't do this by this symbol here. If you click on it, now you are in pilot form and you can move with this one, for example, here. Now, in my case, I move it here because I want to make here a cinematic thing with this one. And yeah, this is my point. And with that said, okay, let's see what's going on. Then we have set up this one, unlock the camera, and we set here cinematic inside sequence. Let's cinematic K actor. Yes, this we can make in a moment. And let's see why this one is not showing there. Normally it should be here actually too. I don't know why. Yeah, now it's there. So if you select this one here and select this pilot form, it jumps also in front. And if you want to go rid of this pilot form, click here on top again. Then you are back to the normal form. But pilot form means all time you are moving the camera, which is selected in this case, to your final position. In this case, we want make this one very accurate. So let's say I want select first the screen here. Now, yeah, I'm here in the screen, and then I select this one. So this camera is now in pilot form, which means I'm the camera, and you see here the result. And in my case, I'm happy. They say you should go to the boots of this character, and in my case, I make another animation. It's okay for my part. Let's continue. So now, after we reached our first position, yes, I reached my first position here, then I have here down options. And when we read a little bit this camera here options, we can set some tracks. Let's make this a little bit bigger here even now to read it. So we can set here some things. We are interested at first only in transform. Let's skip all the other things. And transform, we know what transform is. Transform is just location, rotation, and the scale, right? And I have now a new position in my scene of this cinematic camera, and I want now save this. And how we do this, it's called something keyframing. So the keyframing is they will make here some dots, and keyframing you are doing here when you see this arrows here, not this arrows actually, the between there is a circle between these arrows, and if you click on them you can keyframe, for example, location, rotation, scale. But instead of keyframing all separate, you can just click here on top, which means transform, because this is the same, but these are just splitted. So I click here on top and you see now all is keyframe. And they say now, of course, there is a shortcut. Instead of clicking all time here, you can use the shortcut S. If you get used to it, it's faster to learn the shortcuts. But at start, it's first too good to know that we can click it here and have to. And after you know this one, later you can use also the shortcut S, which is handy. But important is that you know first that we can use it here. And yeah, we have made we set our first position. In my case, it's this position here on the right side. And now we have go on a little bit. And what they do is here in this demonstration, you can add some more tracks here. For example, we have just here this cinematic character. And now they say you can go to the details panel of this. First of all, you select this camera, cine camera actor again. Then in details panel, you have here some options. Let's make this one. And here in focus setting, you have something like this manual focus distance. And you can use this one here as well. And how you are using that, there's an eyedropper. And then you, for example, if you have a character, you can select this character. In my case, I have not a character. I select just this one, just for fun. This particle effect. And now what happens is this one is added to your camera component, because this was already in camera component, but now we are tracking that. And how we can see that is we are not really tracking that. Sorry, that was just set up the manual focus distance, but we want to add this this property, right? We want to add it here, and to do this, we are using this add here. The symbol here is add a keyframe for this property. This one is connected now here. When you click on it, I clicked on it, and here manual focus distance. So we have now options to change this too. So if you are interested to this focus, for example, later you set the focus to anything other than your character, because they make this here example with the character. They want focus on the character, not anything behind that. That's why they set the focus first here and later perhaps another place. So let's continue. Okay, this we see now we can add some details there and so on. Let's go on. Here we go here to the eyedropper, and yeah, that's something like that. Here they showed again that we can add this eyedropper to our scene. I showed you that. And here we can go to the end. So what they do is here in the cinematic view, let's go here a little bit down again. Let's transform this one here more down, because we don't need the little details. So here in cinematic view, go to the end. So this one, I hope you know this, it's very basic. This is play, this is jump to start, and this is jump to end. And here are some other settings as well, but let's use just this one. It says we jump to end, but of course this one you can do here as well. For example, this red thing here on top, you can drag it to the end, to the start, and you can set here some settings, start point, end point. If you hold, for example, control and use your mouse wheel, you can change here the length. Perhaps you have something very long, you want to make it a little bit shorter, that it fits in your viewport here. Or you can hold shift, and if you hold shift and use your mouse wheel, then you can shift it here a little bit round. And there should be one more shortcut that it stretches exactly to this point, but I don't know it right now. You have to read it. So in my case, I make it manual. I hold control and shift it to the point which I need. I say that's enough for me, and we go on. So that was that. And what they want to do is now they change something. And what they are going to change is here, they select again the camera viewport, and then they change the camera where to the endpoint. And in my case, and that's very handy also to know, you can go up and down with this Q and E keys, like they say here, holding the right mouse button, and then you can go up and down. This is a standard thing, but in my case, I want not go up and down. I want just go in front. So what I do is just I make this a little bit slower, the camera, so I'm not too fast, because I want just go here through the smoke. And actually I want this one something, yeah. I go here through the smoke, something like so. And then I want Perhaps a little bit else here. Yeah, let's do it something like a little bit smoke here. And then I want this position here. And after I have the final position, this is my end position, I add again a keyframe here on the bottom. Press S. This is the shortcut. But that worked not. That was not good because I messed up. Control Z if you messed up like me. Then go again here to the end position because, yeah, the wrong thing was I changed here the situation, and this one is not my start point because right now you can see here it's the start point. You want to go to the end position right now. Oh, missed. Oh no, I set it again back. Let's select this one and do it one more time. Oh my god. Now I messed it really up. Okay, now I keep it. Now press keyframe here again or shortcut S. I press here so you can see it, what I do. And now when you click here, this one, you can see the camera view. In my case, it is going through the smoke here on the right side. This one is not that what we see later. This on the right side, the cinematic view, is that what we see later. And you can see it goes through the smoke. And if you are wondering why I make here so long smoke, the reason is for that. I can blend in here a title. For example, it shows short the title, it blends out, and later it blends in the screen of the world. Something like similar like that, but this one is just a demonstration. So you see it, but you can see even of a boring scene like this one, we can make something interesting. So let's continue a little bit. And that's is almost done with that. What we have here is, I think we are done with this one. Here's this finished. This one is nice. And the next thing what they do is just make the scene a little bit more interesting, because you can save this so far, because this one is actually the first shot. So, and you can test this here when you play this one. In my case, you can see what happens. Nothing. And then it blends over. And like I said, in my case, I would put here, when it's still in the smoke screen, a title, perhaps a starting music or something like that to make it more interesting. And then it blends away the title, and then it blends in the scene. Something like that. So an intro and so on. But let's continue a little bit, because I want to finish at least this step here also. And what they do is now they are replacing the blueprint character. What I mean with that is, let's place, I select it now here in my normal viewport. I changed the speed here a little bit again to normal. So they place first the normal player character. Let's get the player character. In my case, I open up the drawer and I get the player character. No, here in character. It's this one. I place it here. And perhaps I want to see my character. So they are saying you can see your character. And this is my end screen here. Perhaps I should show my character here. But right now it's not very important, because this one will be replaced. What they do is now they place first the player character here. But they want not use this player character blueprint. They want just get this skeletal mesh here in this demonstration. So let's do this too. What they do is right click on it, and they will replace, let's see what it is, replace selected actor with the skeletal mesh, but I have it here already. If you don't know where your skeletal mesh is, you can just find it in your character. Let me show you this too. Let's click on this one. Let's go on Outliner. Let's open up Edit Blueprint, because this one is a blueprint. This is our normal character. You select your mesh, and here in Details panel, here in Mesh, it says Skeletal Mesh, and then you have this one. You can click this magnitude side, it jumps in, and this is your skeletal mesh. They want that you use this one. So not this blueprint, what we have used here. They want that you use this one. And after you have this one selected, that's very important. So I select this, it's selected. Then you can, that's we don't need. Now we don't need this as well. Now you right click on your character again, you go now to the replace actor, and then you should have this mesh here. And in my case, you in your skeletal mesh, in my case this one, and you see now the skeletal mesh is added. Of course there is another way to add it, but this one is only one way. And this player character, which was here, they delayed. So we have now just this skeletal mesh here, and here is my outcome. Okay, we have moved this a little bit. Let's see, let's move it here and move it here just for fun. Let's turn him and let's move him back. Was not good. And yeah, let's move him here and here. Okay, this moving skills is, let's make it so anyhow, and then perhaps, and the problem here, the camera is too high. Perhaps I should make this a little bit lower. Yeah, and that was this combination with Q and W. And what you can also do is changing first of all this setting, because it moves too fast down or up, something like that. For example, in my case, oops. Now let's say this one is okay, and you can reset this key so they are not fixed. For example, I press now again. You can delete this key by selecting it and deleting it, for example, and then create a new keyframe at the position here. But careful, I think the camera is again resetted. Oh no. Oh yes, it is. I have to go through again. And then here setting the camera here around this position. So it has a little rotation. And let's set this keyframe again fast. And now we have this one here because I want capture this character here, but let's continue with our character. I remade this and wasted time. Let's continue. So the character is here, and what they want to do is just set here an animation. So which means after you have your character, you can first of all click this track here. Important is they add a track here by using the skeletal character here, and then you go here to track, and here important is add track to sequencer here. And now not searching anything because this one is selected. We have now this option here just to click this one, and this actor, the selected actor, would automatically add it to the sequence. And now we can use this actor as well on the scene, and let's see what we are doing there. And what they are doing then is just going to this animation tab, because right now the skeleton mesh is very stiff, very, you see it's not moving at all. They added a just idle animation, for example, in this example, idle. And now I'm idling anyhow. Let's move it a little bit. So I'm idling this way. And yeah, we have this one done. So we added the animation, and we need, of course, doing nothing, or they did something. Yes. Yeah, the problem is when you add this animation, you see this idle animation is right now not even in my sequence. You can control, scroll this, then shift and here, and you see it is here anyhow. What you can do now is just click on this one, hold it and drag it in. And after this one, it's on the start point, and here the end point. You can just bring it back to this point. So you adjusted this a little bit, and that's it, what we needed. And then you can reset this one. There was a way to make it easier to reset this one, but yeah, not so wild. So let's continue. With that said, we are almost finished. We need then only nothing actually. I think that was it. We are finished. We set up our thing, and let's see if this is working. So how we can see this, we go here to start, and I play, and it comes up, and you see there was even a camera movement a little bit because I moved it down a little bit. That was also cool. It's okay. Because the other one blends out, this blends in, and you should play around. This is the first step. And here in the next step, you can see they are creating more shots, which means again a level sequence. And then they are creating here other perspectives, and they are combining these perspectives and much more. I think I will make this also so that our sequence looks a little bit more cool. We can do this at least for the start point. And with that said, I will stop this video, and I will link, of course, this thing here in the documentation so you can just read it through all the back information. But like I said, this is also only a quick start, so they don't explain too much here as well. If you want to go dive deep into, you have to go to the real documentation page where you can see there are many parts to discuss, to read about it. But careful, of course, this is how to use all different techniques and so on. But at start, you don't need that much. But if you want to get good in filmmaking, in trailer making, then you can start here reading a little bit. All right, with that said, if you have any questions, any complaints, write it in the comments. And see you in the next video where we continue a little bit with sequence, because a trailer is not bad to have. All right, bye for now and good luck.